Everyone, in our previous video, that is glycolysis part 1, we discussed about the reactions of glycolysis and we ended up discussing two phases, energy investment phase and splitting phase. Now we are left with energy generation phase and other things to be discussed in glycolysis. So today's video we shall start from the energy generation phase, or it is the continuation of part 1. So if you have not watched part 1, I would suggest to watch it before so that you can get continuation on the topic. The video will be provided in the I button. So today we shall continue from the energy generation phase. So continuing from the previous video, now we did up to the two molecules of glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate were formed. Okay, so we'll continue from there. Glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate. So I told you that two molecules of glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate are generated, and this is we do the splitting, and we already discussed in the previous video. Now let's discuss further. So glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate is converted into 1,3 bisphosphoglycerate. 1,3 bisphosphoglycerate with the help of enzyme. Okay, enzyme is based on the name of the previous product. Okay, so glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate dehydrogenase. Okay, dehydrogenase, and with the production of NADH. So okay, pay attention and keep in mind this keep this NADH in mind. Okay, we shall this will take it out. We'll need this NADH in while discussing about the energetics. So keep in mind. Okay, NADH. Then 1,3 bisphosphoglycerate is converted into 3-phosphoglycerate. Okay, 3-phosphoglycerate with the help of enzyme phospho okay 3-phosphoglycerate by the enzyme phosphoglycerate kinase. Okay, phosphoglycerate kinase. So can you guess what would be required, or what is produced, or what is consumed? So when glucose was converted into glucose 6-phosphate, we told that it is phosphorylizing and we consumed 1 ATP. So I hope you remember that reaction. We used 1 ATP and ADP was produced. But here what is happening? 1,3 bisphosphoglycerate is converted into 3-phosphoglycerate. That means ATP must be released. So these are okay, we'll first write, let's complete this. ADP, then ATP is generated. Okay, so these compounds, 1,3 bisphosphoglycerate is a high energy compound. Okay, high energy compound, and it undergoes substrate level phosphorylation. Okay, you should remember the term substrate level phosphorylation to give ATP. Okay, high energy compound undergoes substrate level phosphorylation to give ATP. We'll and also note this also ATP. Okay, keep it in your pocket. NADH and ATP we shall you'll need to take it out when you will discuss about the energetics. Okay, so let's get further. 3-phosphoglycerate. Now the 3-phosphoglycerate is converted into 2-phosphoglycerate. Okay, 2-phosphoglycerate glycerate with the help of enzyme mutase. And I told in the previous video how if you have to write in exam sheet, yeah, obviously you should write in exam. So you'll make a figure, and it is taking a lot of time in video because I have to write. I'm telling it, I'm writing it, explaining some of the terms. But when you have to write in exam, it will take you very less time. Try to be fast, because try to manage time. You'll make the table, write all the steps, and then as short as possible you'll write the points, that first point, second point, third point, as I told earlier. Okay, so with the help of enzyme mutase, 3-phosphoglycerate is converted into 2-phosphoglycerate. Now this 2-phosphoglycerate with the help of enzyme enolase, okay, enolase is converted, 2-phosphoglycerate is converted into phosphoenol pyruvate. Okay, phosphoenol pyruvate, phosphoenol pyruvate. And keep in mind, I'll use this phosphoenol pyruvate as PEP. Okay, if I have to use it again, I'll use as PEP because it's short form, it's very difficult to write it, phosphoenol pyruvate. Okay, with the help of enzyme enolase. Now this phosphoenol pyruvate is converted into pyruvate. This is the final step, last step. Okay, I made a mistake over here, I'll correct it. Pyruvate. Okay, this last step is converted into phosphoenol pyruvate, is converted into pyruvate. And what is the enzyme? Enzyme is pyruvate kinase. Okay, with the help of enzyme pyruvate kinase, phosphoenol pyruvate is converted into pyruvate with the help of enzyme, that is pyruvate kinase. So sorry about it, pyruvate kinase. Okay, and the even here phosphoenol pyruvate, PEP, is also high energy compound, and even this also undergoes substrate level phosphorylation, okay, to generate ATP. So now I'd like to ask you one question. So this is the complete reactions. Okay, this is the where we complete all the reactions. Now these are the complete reactions, and this from glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate to generation of pyruvate. All these reactions are the reactions of energy generation phase. Okay, so I'll write here energy generation phase. All these reactions are of energy generation phase. Okay, so don't get confused. To all previous two phases we have already discussed in the previous video, glycolysis part 1. Okay, so energy generation phase. And okay, tell me how many NADH, how many ATP are being produced altogether. So I told you in the previous video that please keep in mind that 2 molecules of glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate are formed. Yes or no? From one glucose molecule. So if 2 molecules are formed, see, one conversion of glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate into 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate, one molecule of this glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate into 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate is giving 1 NADH, producing 1 NADH. Yes or no? So if 2 molecules of glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate are being converted into 2 molecules of 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate, how many NADH should be produced? Obviously 2 NADH. Yes or no? Again, in case of when there is one molecule of high energy compound, that is 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate, is undergoing substrate level phosphorylation to give 1 ATP, then 2 molecules of, as we know that 2 molecules of glyceraldehyde giving 2 molecules, all are these are 2 molecules. Yes or no? So 2 molecules will, when they undergo 2 molecules of 1,3-bisphosphoglycerate will undergo substrate level phosphorylation, then it will form 2 ATP. Same over here, 2 molecules of phosphoenol pyruvate will undergo substrate level phosphorylation, then it will give 2 ATP. Okay, so again keep note of these NADH and ATPs. Okay, please keep in mind, keep it and keep them in your pocket or in your mind. So we'll take it out while discussing about the energetics. Okay, so I again forgot to bring it down. So this is the complete reaction, and this is only about the energy generation phase. and previous two phases we have already discussed in the previous video. So I hope you understood it. Okay, Y2 ATP, Y2 NADH, and Y2 to ATPs. Having completed the reactions of glycolysis, now let's narrow down our discussion to energetics of glycolysis. Okay, energetics of glycolysis. Energetics of glycolysis. So I told you to keep the number of ATPs and NADH in your pocket so that we can take it out during energetics of glycolysis. Okay, so now get back to the reactions. If we have copied it, keep it aside and let's continue. So we told that we 2 NADH is produced. Yes or no? 2 NADH is produced when 3-glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate is converted into 1,3 bisphosphoglycerate. 2 NADH is produced. Okay, fine. Then due to substrate level phosphorylation of phosphoenol pyruvate into pyruvate, due to substrate level phosphorylation, we get 2 ATP. Due to phosphoenol pyruvate, that is high energy compound, substrate level substrate level phosphorylation, I'll write it where substrate level phosphorylation is giving of PEP. Okay, of high energy compound PEP is giving us 2 ATP. Again, next the other 2 ATP we gained from other that is also substrate level phosphorylation, and that is 1,3 bisphosphoglycerate. Yes or no? Substrate level phosphorylation of this compound, phosphoglycerate, will also give us 2 ATP. Yes or no? So NADH, okay, NADH, 1 NADH, okay, 1 NADH undergoes electron, this is electron, okay, electron transport chain and oxidative phosphorylation to give 3 ATP. So how many ATP will we gain when 2 NADH are produced in glycolysis? When glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate is converted into 1,3 bisphosphoglycerate, we are getting 2 NADH. Then how much ATP will they produce? If 1 NADH is producing 3 ATP on oxidative phosphorylation, 2 will produce 6. Obvious, very easy calculation. Oh no. 2 times 3 gives 6. So we get 6 ATPs. Yes or no? By 2 NADH. 2 NADH is total giving us 6 ATP. Clear about this? So now let's get down to the ATP from substrate level phosphorylation. We are getting 2 ATP and 2 ATP. So altogether we are getting 6 plus 2 plus 2. That is total ATP generated. Total ATP generated is 8. That is 6 plus 2 plus 2. 10. Yes or no? 10 ATPs. I hope you are getting it. Is it clear? 10 ATPs. And ATPs invested. How much did we invest? So I also told in the previous video while discussing about the first and third reactions that ATP is invested. Yes or no? Remember the energy investment phase. When glucose is converted into glucose 6-phosphate, 1 ATP is consumed. Again, when fructose 6-phosphate is converted into fructose 1,6 bisphosphate, again 1 ATP is consumed. So how many ATP we are investing? We are investing 2 ATPs. So what will be our final product or final gain? Final gain of ATPs will be 10 minus 2, that is 8. Fine. So this is the number of ATP gained from glycolysis when glycolysis operates in aerobic conditions. Okay, these are for aerobic conditions, AEROBIC conditions, aerobic conditions. Okay, so even while discussing about the reactions, we discussed up to pyruvate, but we told previous that under anaerobic conditions it produces lactate. So now we shall discuss about the lactate and discuss about the production of ATP in anaerobic condition. So we discussed about aerobic condition, that in aerobic conditions the glucose is converted into pyruvate. So what happens about in anaerobic condition? The formed pyruvate, okay, pyruvate formed during aerobic condition, the pyruvate, okay, gets converted into lactate. We told that lactate is formed under anaerobic conditions. Okay, with the help of enzyme lactate dehydrogenase. Okay, lactate dehydrogenase with consumption of NADH and production of NAD. Okay, with consumption of NADH and production of NAD, and this NAD, okay, this helps to continue glycolysis in anaerobic conditions. So where we use this NAD when glycerol 3 phosphate, when glycerol 3 phosphate is getting converted into 1,3 bisphosphoglycerate with the help of enzyme glycerol 3 phosphate dehydrogenase, we use NAD and NADH is produced. Yes or no? 2 NADH is produced. So the same 2 NADH is all that 2 NADH, the produced NADH is utilized over here in anaerobic condition to convert pyruvate into lactate. Okay, the same NADH that we produced from NAD during in aerobic condition in previous, when glycerol 3 phosphate is converted into 1,3 bisphosphoglycerate. Okay, so I hope you are able to remember that step and understanding this. So now when we have spent the produced NADH, previously produced 2 NADH. Why 2 NADH? Because 2 molecules of pyruvate will convert into 2 molecules of lactate. Okay, so the previously produced 2 NADH is being used. So now we rely on the substrate level phosphorylation for ATP. So altogether there are 2 high energy compound and they give altogether 4 ATP. Yes or no? So from from substrate level phosphorylation, we get 4 ATPs altogether. Yes or no? I explained in just a moment ago, 4 ATPs altogether, and we have already spent 2 NADH. So now we don't have any NADH. Yes or no? And invested how many? We invested 2 ATPs previously in So total gain is equals to, gain of ATPs in anaerobic condition is how many? 4 minus 2, yes or no? 4 minus 2, that is 2 ATP. I hope you are clear with this. Finally, in anaerobic condition we will get 2 ATP, and in aerobic condition we will produce 8 ATPs. Okay, so I hope we are you are clear about it. So if you want to copy it, you can note it down, or if you don't, you can find all the notes, all the pictures of what we wrote in the class in our Facebook page, and link to the post, to this post will be given in the description below. You can click the link and check it out. So we completed all the reactions of glycolysis and also the energetics. Now we are left with the regulation of glycolysis. So I am very sorry guys, the videos went too long, and yet the topic glycolysis got splitted into 3 parts. 1 and 2 we saw it now, and the third part with the regulation of glycolysis will come, but we'll try to make it short as possible. It is not a very long topic, so we'll try to wind it up in 5 to 8 minutes. So this is it guys. If you like the video, a subscribe to the channel will be great, and keep loving the videos. Thank you guys. See you in the next video.